share my personal story with you, and that way you can see that no matter where you are in life, you can get to where you want to be. Your dreams can become your reality, and it's something that I also like to enforce with my daughter, who's almost 7 years old. So while she's little and she's a little dreamer and a go-getter, just letting her know that she can be whatever she wants to be in life, and I'm trying to set a good example for her and really show her that. So just know that where you are now is not where you were meant to be. You were meant to do great things, and you can succeed if you just go for it. Like, put everything else aside and just go for it. And that's what I learned, and went through a lot of stuff along the way, but in the end, I'm coming out on top and succeeding, and now just loving what I do, and also being able to share that with you. I love seeing others succeed as well. So I'm gonna let you know kind of where I came from and how I got to where I am now. And I have a business, Emerald Stone Photography. It's a wedding photography business, and we now have a proud team of 5. We're still growing and growing. I've started an online academy to now help others succeed in business as well, and I'm always educating myself to get to that next level. So education is key. It's important. Find out your areas of struggle and educate yourself. When I was probably 10 years old, sometime in middle school, my dad had a program on his computer, and I just loved editing photos. Editing photos, video, anything I could get my hands on to edit, I thought was like the most fun thing in the whole world, and I just loved it. And I remember thinking to myself, I wish I could do this when I'm older. Like, I wish I could just do this and get paid for it and do what I love. And I literally had no idea at the time that I actually could. So I just I did it for fun. Was very interested in anything digital art related. So editing, photography, video, all of that, you name it. But again, I had no idea that I could actually do that for a living. So I went all the way through school, elementary, middle, high school, thinking I want to be a teacher. I love teaching. I love sharing things with people. So up until my senior year in high school, I planned to go to college to become a teacher. I thought maybe like elementary school teacher. And then in 12th grade, my senior year, I took an extra art class. And I had people come in from, it's the Art Institute of York now, but it was Bradley Academy at the time. They came in and they showed our whole art class about what you could do there at this institute, and my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. This is what I need to do. Sign me up. The whole teacher thing just went out the door, and I knew right then and there, this is what I wanted to do. So fast forward, after I graduated high school, I got accepted into the academy at the Art Institute of York, and I took a digital arts course, and I went through that, and it was a little mix of everything, which was great, but it focused on the digital art, which I love. So the editing, videography, photography, graphic design. I even had to take public speaking, which was like, it was very scary for me, but I had to take it, and I'm so glad that I did. So all of that combined, I ended up getting an associate's degree in specialized technology, and I interned right at the end of college, and the week after I got my degree, I started working at a company in Annapolis, Maryland, doing graphic design work. I was so excited that a company wanted to hire me right off the bat, right after I got out, so everything just happened very fast. You know, I went right after high school, into college, right after college. A week later, after I graduated, I went right into working for this company, and it was great for a while, but it started taking a little bit of a toll on me. I was driving almost 2 hours one way, which I thought was crazy, but again, I thought this was like the best thing in the world about getting this job in a field that I really liked. And then after being there for roughly a year, I moved on to a much larger company and join the corporate America world. A friend at work gave me her camera to start using to basically run a photography business on the side. So I was still working full-time, 40 hours a week, and doing some photography on the side, which it was fun and I loved it, but I could only give so much. And again, in my heart, I'm like, this is all I want to do, but I had no idea how to do that and actually make enough money to provide for myself. We moved locations, so I was now again driving almost the distance I was at my other job, spending 3+ hours on the road each day, plus working there for 9. So it was taking a lot of time away, and then I really had to scale back on doing what I loved. With that extra time now with my full-time job, everything else it fell short, and I was just like, okay, well, I guess this is what I need to do. Again, it's like job security, health insurance, all that. This is what I need to do because I didn't know how to run a business at the time. So fast forward another year, my husband and I got married, and a year after that, we were expecting a little girl. So nearing the end of my pregnancy, I had to start planning my maternity leave with the company that I was at, and they offered me 6 weeks leave. Sounds good. So fast forward a little bit from there, I had my beautiful daughter Kaylee on August 10th, 2012, and it was absolutely incredible. I love being home and just spending time with her, but as you know, that time, it just goes by so quick. And nearing the end of that 6 weeks, I had to start preparing for going back to work full time, and so gracious. We had a lot of family help out during that time, and we had everything set up and ready to go back to work. And as a working mom, I thought, this is what I have to do, so I'm gonna do it. Well, then we had a huge merger within our company, and one day with the merger, people just started getting let go, like left and right. Every time I came into work, I heard of somebody else with a family, or someone who had just bought a new home, or someone who had been there for 30 years just get canned. They got let go, and everything was moving around and switching, and I'm there like 12 hours a day away from my newborn baby with my drive time and plus my 9 hours of work time. And then I didn't even feel like I had job security anymore, and I felt like at any moment I could come in and I could get let go, and then what? It was not a good time for me. And then with all the stress and anxiety at work and just flat out not wanting to be there, and then I come home and I only got to spend about 30 to 60 minutes with my newborn daughter every single day. And it was so hard for me. And every day I would come home and I would get to rock her in a rocking chair and give her a bottle, and that was it. And she would go to bed. And that's all the time I got to spend with her. And everything kept eating at me and eating at me and eating at me. And one night I just told my husband, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to quit. I want to be home with my baby. I want to work from home. I want to do what I love. I can do this. And he's like, let's do it. Take the risk. And it was such a emotional time in my life, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and like the fear set in and all of that, but I knew I could not deal with this feeling every single day. I couldn't deal with it anymore. The very next day, I had to get my confidence up and know you can do this. And the whole ride to work, I was like, you can do this, okay, pumping myself up, shaking, I was so nervous, and I knew this is just what I need to do. It's just what I'm feeling right now, and I know that I can get past this. I pulled up in the parking lot and I walked in the building, went to my boss's office and told her I was quitting. And let me tell you, it was not easy. It was one of the hardest things that I ever did because the fear of the unknown, but I did it. I knew it was just a feeling I was having right then and there, and I needed to push past it, just do it. So I quit. There must have been 1,000 emotions going through my mind. I was happy, I was excited, but I also was very fearful, and I thought, like, did I just make the biggest mistake of my life? What now? What am I gonna do? And I drove home and I just had to take a minute. I'm like, okay, you got through that. You did it. It was tough, it was hard, it was scary, but pick yourself back up and let's figure this out. You just quit. Now everything, like all the possibilities are endless with what you can do, but now I actually got to decide for myself what I want to do. And I would love to tell you that the rest is history, but it didn't quite work out that way. I dabbled in a lot. I dabbled in everything. I did babies, children, a bunch of mini sessions and all that, and then I started second shooting with some weddings, and I was like, yes, I love this. And I actually got to shadow another photographer, which was really me stepping back and being able to see like behind the scenes on really what it takes to be a wedding photographer. And I knew from that moment, like, this is what I want to do. Just everything, absolutely loved about it. And I was like, yes, this is what Emerald Stone is going to be. It's going to be a wedding photography business, a wedding photography team. Side note here. So how did I come up with Emerald Stone Photography? How did I come up with that name? I was literally driving in my car thinking of all these different names on what can I name my photography business, and I just knew I didn't want it to be called Erica Lewis Photography. It didn't sound right to me. I was just like, no, it's not what I want. It's not what I'm looking for. And as I was thinking, it just came to me. I was like, my birthstone. My birthday is in May, and May is an emerald stone. So I was like, Emerald Stone Photography. That's it. It's amazing. So if you were wondering how I came up with my business name, there you have it. So I started educating myself, and I knew, okay, I will not be a wedding photographer until I have backup of everything, you know, backup camera bodies, lenses, dual memory card slots. Am I getting too technical? I don't know, but I knew, okay, this is what I need to study. And once I had the right equipment, that's what I started doing, wedding photography, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I'll be honest, it's a big investment to make sure that you have everything you need for a wedding day. This day happens one time for your couple, and you need to make sure you're covered in every aspect. It did take me a while to be able to save up and work all the sessions that may not have been ideal for me, to save up for something like this. So if you're at a spot right now where you're like, yes, this is what I want to do, know that you can get there, but it takes steps. So it's okay if you're at the beginning. Just always remember, don't ever compare your beginning to someone else's middle or someone else's end. And this is why I want to tell you like what it took for me to actually get to where I am now. I learned very fast that the wedding photography industry in general is a pretty seasonal business, and I kind of freaked out, and I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I'm used to this steady paycheck, right? When you're in a corporate space, you get a consistent paycheck every week or every 2 weeks. So I started looking for a part-time job. I quickly found a part-time job in the graphic design space, which I thought at the time would be worth it. I would still have something consistent coming in, working 1 or 2 days a week, and that will kind of even everything out. I was doing a lot more graphic design that I really enjoyed. It was fun. I actually got to go out and do some photography for them as well. So it was fun. Like, I was doing what I loved, and the majority of the time, with the other 3 to 4 days a week, I was able to spend with my daughter and running my other business from home. But it was still taking away from time that I could be educating myself, running business, getting more clients. And after I kind of weighed everything out as far as like what they're paying me hourly, my travel, the time taken away, it didn't make sense. And I was finally like, it just clicked. Like, I'm not working for anyone else anymore. You just have that moment sometimes where you just know, like, if I can just have this time, I'm not working for anyone else anymore, and I can have all this time to educate myself on how to run a business, this is what I'm meant to do. This is who I'm meant to be. And sometimes it just takes all that trial and error to get to that point. So I put in my 2 weeks. Then I was home with my daughter. I was still able to have my family help out while I was there with childcare too. So I could really start running a business and marketing myself and just getting out there to book more jobs. It all just kind of fell together, and it just created such good vibes and a good space for me when I was able to create such like a niche and be specialized in one area. Wedding photography, that's what we do, that's what we specialize in. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail from when I was like, yes, wedding photographer, I'm specializing it, to where I am now with a full team and also an online academy. But I just want to let you know, again, please know it took a lot to get there. Don't compare yourself to where somebody is now and what you're seeing, because you never know the story behind it. You never know what really led up to where they are now and all of their success. And it's so important to just put aside the idea of competition in general and just start connecting with people who specialize in what you do. Once you start connecting with other creatives that are in your space, you're just gonna see what that's able to do for you. So that's why I wanted to share my story with you. So if you're seeing me on any social media platforms and thinking like, oh, it was so easy for her to get there, well, I wanna show you literally what it took since my love for digital arts at 10 years old until now at, I don't have to say my age, right? 20 something. Now, like how long it took me to get here. And just know, like, you can do it. Just if you put your mind to it and understand that you can really have anything that you want in life, you're gonna be set. Just to give you a quick overview of when I said yes, wedding photography, I started figuring out how to market myself properly on Facebook. I did word of mouth. I did a ton of wedding shows. Connecting with the venues is huge. Just getting out there, like I said, connecting with creatives in your space too is huge. And it doesn't have to be, so say you are a wedding photographer, it doesn't have to necessarily be other photographers. Start connecting with local florists and bridal boutiques and bakers and all of that, and just have a community, so then word of mouth starts being your best friend. So as all that started building up for me, I started having a lot of inquiries start coming in. And let me tell you how hard it is to turn down a job. Worst feeling ever. So then I was like, time to build a team. This is where connecting with other wedding photographers in your area that are local to you or the area that you want to serve is so important. So just start putting feelers out. Who can take on more work? Who can you contract on or even start second shooting for you? So building a team now, we service a wide radius in both Maryland and Pennsylvania that between 3, 4, 5 of us, we can say yes to all those jobs and still be able to provide them with the full Emerald Stone experience. Also, when connecting with other creatives in your space, a lot of them look for freelance work all the time too. So if you do start getting busy and in over your head, why not start putting it out there? Hey, I'm looking for a creative assistant. Maybe even it's 5 hours a week to start helping you out with social media posts and everything you need to do in the back end so you can still market yourself and make sure your business is running exceptionally and just still take creative control and everything. But now you have other people helping you out so you can get more business. So it was a very, very short version of how I was able to, over several years, really build my team up. And sometimes you have to have that aha moment, like, I'm so tired of turning work down. I know these people genuinely wanted to book us for the Emerald Stone experience and everything they saw on our website, and they value the photography, and then just because I have that date booked, I have to turn it down. Now I have to push them away. And you know, maybe that could happen eventually if we build up so many dates, and maybe that's gonna help me want to expand my team even more. But I had that moment where I just personally, I felt like I couldn't do it on myself anymore. I was turning down great couples, and I was just like, no, I can't do it anymore. So it really encouraged me to start building a team up. So sometimes you have to have that moment, and other times you just know what you want and you go for it. And I'm telling you, when you have an exceptional team, you know they got this, you don't have to worry about anything. It makes you feel so good. But then you get to do even more of what you love and start bringing in more business and educating yourself, and your business can just keep growing. The possibilities can just be endless if you just set your mind to it and you just go for it. Don't let fear get in the way. You know, let me tell you how hard it was for me to hand my role of basically everything in business, you know, the photographer, marketer, everything, off to someone else. And then when you find someone who loves your business just as much as you do, and they do a great job, it's like, yes, it was the right thing to do. And now I can start bringing in more business because it doesn't take up all my time now. So it's just kind of finding, like, as you go, what you really love and what you need to do to get there. And now I'm able to be that teacher that I always wanted to be since grade school, with being able to help others in the creative space, whether it's in the wedding photography industry, photography in general, or just an entrepreneur who is looking to grow their business or level up. So this is where I'm personally at in my journey. Almost 7 years ago, I decided to quit my job when my daughter was born, or shortly after, and start a photography business full time. So this took 7 years to get here, and I do plan to keep growing and expanding to the next level. So no matter where you are at in life, just know you were meant for bigger things. You can do it. Don't let fear get to you. I know it's tough, but once you come out on the other side, the possibilities are endless. You've heard my story from the beginning to where I'm at now, and if you just push past that fear, you are going to see all the possibilities right in front of you. Get out there and go for it.